Martin here, AGA Tools. Many of you know us for our special tools, oil drain plugs, and mobile service solutions. We do everything from drain plugs to pumps to systems and everything else that is needed to do a clean oil change in the field. But what we don't do is anything software related, training, or how to implement mobile service. Today, we have a very special guest visiting. We have John Smith, Next Level Mobile Service, visiting us.
Thanks for having me, Martin.
John does everything that we don't do. I'll let John take it from here.
Great, thanks, Martin.
Have at it.
Thank you. So when a dealer comes to me and says, hey, where can I get equipment for my mobile service business? Of course, I always recommend them to AGA Tools. But the second question is always the same. How do I get started? How do I get the training that I need to do? Because let's face it, there aren't a bunch of people out there training for mobile because it's so new. So we've developed Mobile University, what I call the Mobile Masterclass, with 3 levels of support. First and foremost, we provide on-site training. We'll come to the dealership with myself or one of my coaches, and we'll provide you expert advice and guidance right on the property to help your team. Secondly, for those with maybe slightly less to spend on training, we've got remote coaching, and that entails a business assessment, a forecast, and then weekly check-ins. I would say check that pulse every week with a weekly meeting to see how we're doing against our KPIs, to see how we're doing against our action plan. It's constant involvement to keep your team on point. And lastly, because there is a degree of turnover in the dealership world, we have developed 20 virtual courses as an economical means to keep your new hires trained, as well as refresher courses for your existing team. We've got coaching and training solutions for all budgets, and I think that's the most important thing. One of the things I learned early on in my mobile service coaching career was nobody had a good software program that groups appointments together. Some folks will use a spreadsheet, other folks use these big box schedulers that say they're mobile, but they're really not. The fact of the matter is if your scheduler does not group your appointments together in a geographic zone, it's not a mobile scheduler. Geotech is simply the only one that's a true mobile service scheduler. If you don't have the right software, you're making what I call you're making stars. You're driving back and forth and your team is driving all over town, wasting fuel and wasting technician time, which are your 2 biggest controllables. Geotech will actually group your appointments together in tight clusters and then optimize the route within that cluster, saving time and gas. In fact, on a recent study, we cut drive time by 23%, and miles driven by 32%. It's simply the best software on the market right now for running a highly efficient mobile service program. Okay, let me tell you how simple it is. You get a phone call from a customer and they want to know when you're going to be in their neighborhood. You simply type into the address field and the zip code, and Geotech will automatically put your mobile service unit with the correct technician in the correct zone on the correct day. Nobody else can do that, and it's very simple and it's easy for your people to use.
Well, John, that was awesome. Thank you very much for coming all the way here to visit us in California, and thank you for all that useful information.
Sure, absolutely. It's been my pleasure. Thanks for being such a great host.
What is next for Next Level Mobile Service?
Well, thanks for asking. We've got a couple of big projects we're in the middle of right now. One, we're developing a new recall harvesting tool called the Recall Rocket. It's going to be amazing. It's going to develop a lot of business for the dealers and help them get that recall penetration. And secondly, as it relates to AGA Tools, we're going to provide a greater level of support for our dealers to navigate these upfit programs and help connect the dots with our mutual customers. How's that sound?
Sounds pretty awesome to me.
All right, thanks. We'll see you out on the road.